All right. I've been telling my team that I want to sleep and wake up, and it's the 16th of September, 2023. And now that is here, I'm not sure how to feel that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and not see all these beautiful people. Okay, this is our closing session. So just to try and wrap up the day. So there's going to be 3 of us talking in the closing session. So I have a very small part to do, and then Rona will do the thank you to everyone, and then Ketchups will unveil where we're meeting next. Just to say that it has been an amazing 3 days to see and connect with more than 710 delegates from 63 countries. So thank you so much to all of you. I think with most of the sessions, we've heard that building sustainable relationships is very important. I think as we've heard throughout the event. And just to say that the future is coalition. You know that the AEN says, we believe that only together can EIDM become a reality. And we stand by that statement. AEN has been one of the biggest projects of South African Center for Evidence, but our work has a pan-African reach. So because of this, we connecting to the discussion around the future. We have consulted widely and realized that the work that is done by the South African Center for Evidence is also pan-African work. It's not only confined in South Africa. So because of this, we have strategically made a decision with our structures to call ourselves now Pan-African Coalition for Evidence, which is PACE. And in changing this name, it means that we have a collective leadership of 4 individuals that are going to pace it to the future. Can I make my future leaders stand up? Lawrence, Andile, and Promise, and myself. So I look forward to us sort of rebranding and using this name going forward. And I think you'll see how we'll flourish as a non-profit company. And we want to make sure that we continue the work that we are doing. But also just to urge you, just connect with us to continue these conversations in all our social media platforms, because we want to continue to engage with all of you. I'm sure you have unfinished businesses, you have unfinished comments or questions that you want to still ask. Please feel free to connect with us on social media, and let's continue these discussions. So at this point, I would like to hand over to Rona, who's our second co-chair, to do the good part of this closing ceremony.
Thank you very much. 3 days. Been 3 days of activity, anxiety. I can imagine, the panelists preparing in the background, our organizers thinking, is it going well? That anxiety, but also excitement. I could read excitement in so many of the rooms. So I think it's a job well done for all of us. I'll start there. So, before I say a few words, I would really want to say thank you. Like she said, my job is really to say thank you. I'll start with our panelists and the moderators and the chairs of all the sessions. Is there anybody here who feels they really wasted their time when it comes to the panels and the sessions, and I could have, maybe stayed back there? I promise I'll find you something good, so I just want to see where you are. Okay? Nobody. We really, really want to say thank you to the panelists, to the moderators, to the chairs, for such rich conversation. And I also want to say thank you to the informal panels. There were all these conversations going on. There were panelists in the corridors, at dinner, people were forming their own panels. Thank you again, for involving yourself in the conversations. Thank you to everybody who got into a conversation in the last 3 days, either speaking or listening to somebody. It really does mean a lot. Thank you to the Secretariat, right? Our friends from PACE have already transitioned. Okay? We really want to recognize everybody where you are. So Lorenz, Siziwe, our friends, wherever you are, please do stand up and we will recognize you. They're shy. There are quite a number of them here, but they're really shy. But thank you so much for always making sure that this actually happens. And I think this time wasn't as easy as, before when it was at home. And so because of that, I'll also say thank you to our local hosts, the team at Acres. We're so proud of you. Please do stand up. Let's see you. Okay. I see some people seated on this side, but again, they're shy. Okay. But thank you so much again, for working hand in hand with the PACE team to make sure that this, would happen. And of course, I wouldn't forget CONFSA. CONFSA, Conference South Africa. Do we have any people in the room? Okay. Yeah, they're hiding? Okay. Well, we'll take the message back. We've worked with Conference South Africa on all the evidence conferences and meetings, and I think we've really seen a good job. Our friends online have not been left out. There might be a few hiccups here and there, but we've seamlessly come and gone for all these conferences, and we kind of have these expectations that most of the time are really met. I want to say thank you, and in addition to CONFSA this time, I also want to say thank you to Events Warehouse, okay, who work in Uganda, but had to link up with CONFSA, who are based in South Africa, to actually make this happen. I want to say thank you so much. And thank you to all the friends of the network that have enabled this to happen. I especially want to recognize the Hewlett Foundation, the MasterCard Foundation, and the BHP Foundation that have enabled. When I say enable, yeah? Hey, okay. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. There's so many thank yous that I could go on and on. I want to say a special thank you, of course, to Ruth. Yeah? Thank you for dreaming. Thank you for dreaming, and we are living the dream. We are trying to take it forward, but thank you for being visionary and seeing something that you didn't know what it would turn out to be, but you believed in it. Thank you. And then thank you to all of us for believing in what she thought, would happen. But I also especially want to say congratulations, especially to the Africa Evidence leaders, the winners of the awards. Okay, congratulations to you. We are proud of your work already, and we look forward to more. So don't just win and say, "Ish, oof, job well done." Now the pressure is on. But same to the Youth League. Congratulations to our young people. A big applause. Okay. Congratulations to Andile and to all the young people in the room, youngish, I understand, on the launch of the Africa Evidence Youth League. We do have lots and lots of expectations. Again, the pressure is on, okay? But I think away from that, we've really had these 3 days of conversation, of thought, of provocation. You can remember where we started: decolonization, localization, difficult questions, difficult conversations. We've thought about how to use and embrace the African ways, the parts of evidence, and activating the evidence in those ways and in those parts. We've thought about how we are valuing or not, how we are enabling or not, and how we are providing a space, for the youth for the people living with disabilities, for young women, for many of the voices that are left out of the conversation. We've even castigated ourselves for leaving some of the voices out of the room. We've talked about building and making our evidence base relevant and timely. We've talked about so many things. But you know what I'm happy about is that we're living with questions and not answers. If we're living with answers, it would be done and we wouldn't need to do any more work, right? But these questions give us an agenda to go home and continue with, but also start. I think we have some new conversations that we have to think about. Individually, I think if you were part of the institutionalization conversation, we talked about institutionalizing even individuals, not just organizations and not just nations. So we do have questions for ourselves, for our teams, for our organizations, for our countries, for the continent. And I'm glad that that conversation will still bind us together, that we'll still have things to think about together. And that means we will be back because we've learned a lot, but we also aspire for more. It also means we will be back because we value each other and we want to see and get more. And so I want to acknowledge the networking with the old faces, with the new partners, and the new partnerships and relationships that have been formed over the last 3 days. And I also want to remind us to stay connected, like I said on the first day, by reminding us about the proverbs. There was a proverb overload that day. Does anybody remember any of those? Because I want you to carry them home with you. There was a proverb from the eastern part of Africa. Which one was that one? There was one from Tanzania about sticks, smoking, burning. Yeah? That a single stick, it may smoke, but it will not burn. Okay? There was another from West Africa, from Ghana. You guys, okay? About the bracelet? Yeah? A single bracelet does not jingle. And then from the southern part of Africa, something about banks and wealth and relationships. Yeah? That a person's wealth is not in the bank, but in their relationships. I'd like you to carry these with you and stay connected. Let's stay connected within the network. Let's not only meet every 2 years and, oh yeah, I remember you. I remember the face. What were you doing? What was your name? Okay, let's not do that. Let's stay connected. Let's work together. Let's build on the conversations we began. But last, I would like to thank you all for honoring us with your presence here in Uganda at this meeting. We hope you do take a piece of us with you and not forget to come back to the Pearl of Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sidziwe and Rona. And I'm to do the very final bit, right? I'm sure everyone is eager to hear. Okay, we will try to do it this way. But before that, just a few things, final things to take note that resources that we've experienced here, the presentations, and our resources will be uploaded onto the different platforms that we have been using. So the event website, if you have not visited those, you should check that out. And then the app, if you have not been there, please do. There are still some competitions happening there. It's never late. You may still win, even if you've not started yet, right? But I want to do this. Maybe your voice can help determine, right? Where do you want the next event to happen? So I'm going to do this, right? This row, I want to hear a chorus, and maybe one particular country will come out of that, right? So where do we want to go next? Again? Okay, let's take this side. Where do we want to go next? Okay, let's take the different regions, right? Anyone from the northern parts of Africa? Where do we want to go there? From the north? Oh, the north is not represented. The center? Center, where do we want to go? Cameroon. Okay, we have Cameroon from the center. The east? Apart from Uganda. Obviously, we are now coming to Uganda again. So bye-bye to Uganda. Where in the east? Yes. Again? Okay, I'm not getting it clearly. The west? I hear? Again? Still not clear. The south? The south, apart from South Africa, because we're not going back to South Africa now. Where? Again? Seems one keeps coming out loudly. For the last time, where? Let's clap for ourselves. Let's clap for ourselves. I'm sure everybody is eager to have the event, the next event, Evidence 2025, come to their country, right? All right, let's see what we have next. In fact, I'm so disappointed in myself. So what are we going to do? For some tactical and, reasons, we had to halt this particular determination because we want to involve you as much as possible, right? So we will look out for our different platforms. We will be inviting calls to bid. We want to encourage ecosystems. Here, let's clap for acres. Let's clap for acres. This year, we had acres hosting us in Uganda. But the next location, we don't want to have an organization hosting us. We want to have an ecosystem hosting us. So from here, with the high energies we have here, let's go back and start putting our ecosystems, in-country ecosystems together and respond to that call. And possibly, your country will be selected. Thank you very much. On this note, I want to call the events closing and then invite CZWay to officially close the event. Thank you, and see you all in what? 2025.
Thank you very much, Ketchups. But there's just one more slide, because there's always something that needs to happen next year. How do I see you again? How do we connect again? Can I see what's happening next year? Yes? Here we go. Africa Evidence Week 2024. Be ready with all your submissions. Let that week be colorful. The last one, we had 104 activities happening in that week. You can beat that, I know. And that is going to be amazing. So we look forward to hosting you online. This is a fully virtual event, but we want to make sure that we get together again as a preparation for 2025, where we are going. All right, I think finally, I would like to declare Evidence 2023 closed. Thank you, everybody. Safe travel for everybody that is going today and the following day. So safe travel and travel mercies. Thank you so much.